So, what am I going to talk about today? By the way, I'm the co-founder of a business called Growth Enabler that I founded 4 years ago. In short, it's a AI tech platform that is a marketplace bringing the largest banks and insurance companies together with the startup economy. And my background is I used to work for Alan Sugar for many, many years. I ran a bunch of different businesses for a company called Gartner in the research industry, and I decided to go disrupt the research industry with my business, Growth Enabler. So today I'd like to touch on the 7 trillion juggernaut that I find fascinating. And the two elements I'd like to talk about. One is the forces of digital disruption that is changing the face of the world and the economies today. And secondly, I'd like to talk about the tech titans and the tech revolution. The GAFTA, the Google, Amazon, Facebook, Tencent, Alibaba, or the BATS, the Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, whatever analogy or whatever acronym, should I say, you'd like to use. So what are those forces of change that you need to be aware of? All of this discussion around crypto and blockchain. It's a nascent technology. It will keep happening, and it's a good thing, and who knows where it's going to end up. But there's one thing you must be aware of. The big companies, the big enterprises out there are going through a lot of pain. They're declining in lifespan. In fact, statistics tell us that the S&P 500 has gone down from, on average, 33 years down to 12 years. It's expected to go down to single digits by 2027 and beyond. So large companies are living for less years. They're declining in their life expectancy. But on top of that, this whole startup economy is growing at pace. When we set up our business 4 years ago, there were about 1 million tech startups on the planet. Then 1.78 million back in 2018. This year alone, 2.4 million tech startups have been born. This number will explode over the next 5 years because of two economies, China and India, just because of the populace. India has 50% of India is made up of millennials under the age of 26. They're building startups at pace. More money's coming into the system. More unicorns are being born. The other area of interest is the rise of the money markets and the venture economy. Now, the venture economy has been sort of underpinned by the fact that more and more corporate venture capital groups are being born. So large organizations, tech players like Xerox and IBM, Oracle, Microsoft, have been investing in startups for many, many years. The end users, however, the Amexes, the MasterCards, the Tescos, the JPMCs, JP Morgan, and so on, have now started to build venture arms in their business, and they're pumping more and more cash into disruptive innovations, products, and solutions. You need to watch this space very, very carefully, because sooner or later it will fuel the blockchain or maybe the crypto economy. It's one to watch. Organizations like SoftBank as well, by the way, are phenomenal because they've disrupted the venture economy by building what they called the Vision Fund, which is a $100 billion plus fund. In fact, they're on their second Vision Fund at $150 billion. Absolutely crazy numbers. This guy, John Chambers, who you would have known of from Cisco, phenomenal chap, he believes that 40% of businesses will die over the next 10 years. He's talking about the large businesses out there. And if they don't change or figure out new ways of doing things, they will be defunct or dwindle away. Why is he saying that? Why is he worried? Well, this is one domain to watch. The tech titans and their dominance. The top tech titans on the planet today equate to $7 trillion in valuation. Microsoft itself has passed over $1 trillion. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, has done a phenomenal job with that company over the last 5 or 6 years. Stock price was stagnant for a number of years. It's climbed at an exponential rate, and credit to Microsoft from going from a Darwin state, which is shape-shifting, into a disruptor state. Apple, Amazon, Alphabet or Google, Facebook, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's incredible company, continues to surprise and astonish us. One point I'd like to make around Apple, just so you're aware if you didn't know this, Apple has $250 billion of cash on its balance sheet. You know this, right? Many of you are shaking your heads. It's absolutely phenomenal how much cash these companies are printing. 5 or 6, 7, 10, 12, 14 years ago, when I was in my corporate world, speaking to CEOs of companies, they were skeptical. They were even, dismissive of the fact that the startup economy or the tech titans of tomorrow are going to change the face of industries, much like we're debating today around blockchain and crypto. But who knows where the world will go? The geopolitical situation is volatile. We have interesting leaders in our governments today, and the world is changing at pace. And you know this. The data we produce in our organization is phenomenal, guys. I'd just like you to pay attention to the two screens. On the extreme left is Amazon. Amazon has invested in over 128 disruptive startups and companies across multiple technology areas. The number keeps on increasing month on month. They're vacuuming companies at pace, which is what's creating their dominance. Alibaba on the right side has over 100 companies they've invested in. They're battling against each other with rigor and with energy. And these two organizations will dominate the world to some extent. Amazon, well, by the way, one interesting thing, a little call out for Greta Thunberg. I don't know if you've been watching the activist, and I'm sending this message out. She talks about how climate change is affecting our world. While the Amazon on the ground burns away, a new Amazon in the skies will emerge through drones with the Amazon we know of in the future. The world is truly changing, and we should be conscious and cognizant of it. Jeff Bezos is worth over $160 billion. If you've not checked out Bezos Expeditions, it is his website that talks about where he's pumping his billions and billions of cash. Phenomenal individual and company that we all know tons about. But what is it that Amazon is so good at? They love ecosystems, and this is a depiction. Take a picture of this if you wish. This is a depiction of their ecosystem. 10 sectors, industries that they're dominating in, and they're unstoppable. They're an unstoppable juggernaut that you must watch. Heck, they're even in travel and ticketing. They're opening up their blockchain, Amazon Managed Services in blockchain, which is gaining mass popularity. It is an area that you have to study and watch and be aware of as you go through your journey of investment, building your own startup, or of course, within your enterprise. I'm short of time, so I'm running really quickly. The press material around Amazon is, of course, notable, and you're aware of this, but Amazon is exploring and entering new markets, new domains with its ecosystem and its structure. So one final point I just want to make, these large organizations don't operate like the traditional enterprises that some of us have come from. In fact, they work on a hub and spoke model. There's a centralized organization or a holding company that is so market-oriented. The entire ecosystem structure is market-oriented, and they build out these cells that look for market opportunities, and they go off and build new structures and partnerships on that basis. This is what happens when you have a data-centric business model. Jack Ma, phenomenal individual with a lot of rigor, a lot of resilience, passion, and grit. He talks about how he's changed the world with his Alibaba world, from Alipay to the Ant Financial to Ali Cloud to Ali Mama. If you've heard of Ali Mama, it's the marketing solutions part of their business. But of course, Alibaba is no organization to mess around with either. They have an incredible ecosystem they've built like Amazon has. The one advantage Alibaba, I see, has got over Amazon is that Amazon has invested in a lot of infrastructure over a period of time, 20 or 25 years, and it's a little bit more closed from an ecosystem standpoint, if I may. Alibaba is very, very platform-driven. What they're doing with Singapore Airlines in China and the collaborations that they have out there are game-changing. I mean, even if you come out of Alibaba and you look at Tencent and what they've done with WeChat, these are game-changing technologies and implementations where populations and their habits are being changed. Alibaba, of course, is also very unstoppable as an organization. They've got an incredible collaboration, not just with organizations like Starbucks, but there's a big claim that they've made that they're going to hit 1 billion shoppers by 2024. They're at about somewhere between 800 or 900 million right now, but 1 billion shoppers by 2024. That's a serious number. Now, everything I've said to you, I've got 23 seconds, not too bad. But everything I've said to you today, the message that I've driven out very rapidly, is about the digital transformation, change, and innovation activity that is going on in the world today at different levels based on time horizons. And the one final piece of wisdom that this individual, Alvin Toffler, is pushing us to think about, which is, I'll repeat this, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Change is imminent, friends, and you're all part of it. So may the force be with you. Keep disrupting and let crypto and blockchain, empower and inspire the world. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Af. Fantastic work. Much appreciated. Much appreciated.